There is a moment I remember so clearly. I was sitting in meditation, eyes closed, focusing on Hebrew letters. I didn't fully understand the meaning of or how to say yet. And something happened that I had never experienced before in my life. I floated out of my body, not metaphorically, but I was above myself, observing everything around me from a place of complete stillness and peace within. And I thought, what is this? And why has no one told me about it? That was 2006. And it was literally the beginning of one of the most profound journeys of my life. One I have never talked about on this podcast so far until today. I'm Charla Goodnight. Welcome to Collective Guidance, the show where we go beneath the surface into spirituality, fitness, the deep human truth of what it actually takes to become who we were always meant to be. We're here for you twice a week, every week. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now. This community is growing into something so beautiful, and I don't want you to miss a single conversation. Today, I'm going to go somewhere personal, somewhere that honestly I've kept a little close to my chest because it lives at the intersection of the spiritual and the ancient. And I wasn't sure how to express it and bring it forward to you. But after my conversation with Veronica in the last episode, who is an identity architect and she studies Kabbalah, I realized I'm ready. I'm ready. And I think that my listeners are ready. You're ready. So today we're going to talk about Kabbalah, what it actually is, what it is not. I am not a complete expert on it, but I have studied it since 2005, 2006. And I want to share with you two teachings within it that I believe have the power to completely reframe the way you see your life, your struggles, your desires, your worthiness to receive everything you've been asking for. So let's go. Before I tell you what Kabbalah is, let me clear the air on what it is not. Because when most people hear the word Kabbalah, one of two things happen. Either they picture Madonna in the early 2000s with a red string bracelet and they kind of laugh it off as a celebrity trend, or they assume it's a Jewish religious practice that has nothing to do with them and it's only reserved for those that study Judaism. And I get it. I understand why pop culture did what it did with Kabbalah. And here's the truth. Kabbalah is not a religion. It's not exclusive to Jewish people, even though it is deeply rooted in Jewish mysticism and draws from the wisdom of the Torah and the Old Testament. It is agnostic to every religion. It's a system of wisdom, a framework for living. In the last episode with Veronica described it to everyone as a manual for life. And I feel like that's exactly right. It is a manual for life. People who have been in the personal development for 15, 20 years, those that are really spiritual and have done a lot of studying of spirituality often come to Kabbalah and say, this is a thing that finally clicked. This is the one that actually transformed me. I have to say that was my experience. I too felt that everything made sense. It talks about the feminine, the masculine, how you have to have both to be whole. And I firmly believe that it can be transformational for anyone if you let it. I myself was introduced to Kabbalah by a nanny that I had, Marguerite. And she helped me when my youngest son was born. She had introduced me to The Secret first, and then she handed me something so much deeper. She pointed me toward Kabbalah, and she shared some Kabbalistic meditations with me, told me about the Kabbalah Center, and I started studying. I want to be honest with you. At first, it felt very strange. The letters, I couldn't read them. I did not understand what Shin Aleph Hey meant. I did not know that you were supposed to read right to left, not left to right. The concepts that didn't have direct English translations were a little bit hard to get. Prayers and meditations definitely felt foreign in my mouth. Like it was hard to like spit it out. But I have to say, I kept showing up because something in my body said, keep going. After I got divorced, I plastered 72 names of God all over my house just to keep my energy in harmony with the true essence of who I wanted to be. The meditations work, specifically meditating on Hebrew letters. When I meditate on Hebrew letters, I am transcended to another realm that I did not know existed. The first time I truly dropped into one of those meditations, I had what I could only describe as a out of body experience. I literally left my physical body. I was above myself, watching, completely calm, completely free. Time was passing by so fast, and yet it felt like it was standing still. I felt connected to source. It was a true connection to source like I had never felt. It was the moment I understood on a cellular level that I was more than my body, more than my mind, more than any story I had told myself. That experience cracked me open. It threw me into a completely different relationship with meditation, with spirituality, with myself. I mean, I wanted to meditate all the time because of it. I wanted to convene and be one with God because of the euphoria that I felt from being in connection with source and being with source. The teachings, especially the two I'm going to share with you today, became a foundation that I still stand on now. The first teaching I want to bring you is one that changed the way I understand desire, abundance, and why so many of us stay stuck even when we are doing everything right. In Kabbalah, there is the concept of the light. The light is infinite source of all abundance. The light is God, energy, love, joy, health, wealth, connection, peace within. You know, it's God. It's universe. It is source. Kabbalah calls it the light. When the light fills you up. And the teaching is this: the light is always on. It's always available. It is infinite and it does not run out. So if that's true, if the source is everything we want and the source is infinite and always available, why aren't we receiving it? The answer, according to Kabbalah, is not that the light is withholding from you. The answer is that your vessel, your body, your nervous system, everything within you, your capacity to receive the light is blocked. It is energetically blocked. So I like to think about a pipe, right? The water is always flowing in the pipe. But if the pipe gets clogged, the water can't get through. The work is not to make more water exist. The work is to clear the pipe. And what clogs the pipe? What clogs the vessel from receiving the light? Our fears, our limiting beliefs, our sense of unworthiness, our inability to receive. If I'm honest, the inability to receive is one of the most common struggles I see in the human existence, especially in women. With women, we are wired to give. We are wired to fill other people up with light, to give selflessly, to give without constriction. We are celebrated for giving, mothering, nurturing, pouring energy out into the world. We give, give, give. We forget to receive, receive, receive. And one of the most powerful phrases in Kabbalistic teaching is this: to give is to receive. To receive is to give. And I say this to people all the time. When someone refuses a compliment, refuses help, refuses a gift, I always say, you're taking away from my ability to give. Receiving is not selfish. Receiving is a sacred act. It completes the circuit. It completes the energy. Ask yourself right now, where in your life are you blocking the pipe to receive light? Where are you refusing to receive in your life? Where are you saying, I'm fine, I've got it, I don't need help, when the truth is you're exhausted and you are worthy of being held? And that is where your work is. The second teaching that I find is most comforting and challenging of ideas that I have ever learned and encountered. Your struggles are not punishments. They are assignments. In Kabbalah, this is called Tikkun. Tikkun means correction. It is the work your soul came here to do in this lifetime. It's a specific pattern, such as the fear, the wound, the reaction, the belief, the inability to receive. You're here to transform. And here's the part that always would get me when I would study this and when I got to first understand it. Your tikkun shows up over and over and over and over and over again until you correct it. It'll show up in your relationships, in your business, in your body, in your recurring arguments that you have with people. It is the pattern you swore you would break, but somehow it keeps finding you. Like it keeps showing up no matter what. Now, I want you to know this is not the universe punishing you. This is the universe pointing at you, saying, here, this is the place. This is the thing. This is the version of you that is ready to be transformed. Your tikkun is not your curse. It is your curriculum. And this is where Kabbalah and modern neuroscience actually meet in, such a beautiful way, because Kabbalah has been teaching for thousands and thousands of years. And now the neuroscience is really confirming it. It's that in a split second between a trigger and reaction, you have the power to choose something differently, to create a completely different neuro pathway, to literally rewrite the pattern. And that's what Kabbalah calls free will. Science calls it neuroplasticity. Studying Dr. Joe, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, I call it one of the most hopeful things I have ever learned, because it has reminded me over and over, I am not stuck. I am in the middle of a correction. There is a difference between being stuck and being in the middle of a correction. I've carried these teachings really quietly with me. I share them with my kids. My kids know about them. To give is to receive. And at any moment, we can change our behavior. But I don't really tell them to many people. And I've been holding them quietly for about 20 years. After the conversation with Veronica, I realized that it's time for me to share what I know about this and how I incorporate it into my life. I want to leave you with a question that I believe is at the heart of all this work. What if the very thing you've been struggling with your whole life is not evidence that something is wrong with you, but a map pointing you directly toward who you are always meant to become? Sit with that. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode opened up something in you, I want to hear about it. Come find me at Collective Guidance Podcast on Instagram and tell me what landed. If you know anyone that this episode may resonate with, or someone that's doing all the things that feels a little stuck, or maybe they need to hear about like what our purpose is. It's to give and to receive. And most importantly, receiving is a form of giving. Share it with them, because to give is to receive and to receive is to give. So if you haven't subscribed to Collective Guidance, please do. I would love to have you join our community. Leave a review if the show has ever made you feel seen or something has resonated. And until next time, just keep choosing yourself in a loving, kind way. Everything you desire is already waiting for you. It's waiting for you to become the version of yourself that can receive it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.